That deadly catastrophic storm Helene. CNN meteorologist Eric Van Dam caught these scenes.
Good morning. The homes you see behind me, these were built about 10 feet above sea level, and still the surge here and the wind are enough to tear them apart. And these were just the first homes hit.
Hurricane Helene has emerged as one of the most devastating natural disasters to hit the southeastern United States in recent memory. As it made landfall, residents braced for impact, but the actual destruction was far worse than anticipated. The storm formed in the Atlantic and rapidly intensified, reaching Category 4 status with winds peaking at 130 miles per hour. Its eye made landfall near Perry, Florida, unleashing its full fury upon the unsuspecting communities. For many, the calm before the storm felt deceptive as the weather forecast began to turn ominous. In the days leading up to Helene's arrival, meteorologists warned that this hurricane had the potential to be catastrophic. It was a reminder of the Atlantic hurricane season's unpredictability, which can bring ferocious storms without much notice. As the winds picked up speed, residents were urged to prepare. Shelters were set up, supplies were stocked, and emergency services were put on high alert. But as the storm approached, it became clear that even the best preparations might not be enough. By the time Helene reached the coast, it was already too late for many as the winds and rain wreaked havoc. As the storm moved inland, reports of destruction flooded in. Millions were left without power, and over 3 million people were affected across several states. The winds, which had started at sea, wreaked havoc far beyond the coastal areas, uprooting trees and destroying homes. Streets were submerged underwater, and some communities experienced flash flooding that turned roads into rivers. The National Weather Service reported that entire neighborhoods were overwhelmed, and emergency services had to rescue residents trapped in their homes. Social media platforms lit up with distress calls and footage of the chaos. Tragically, the death toll from Hurricane Helene continues to rise. As of the latest reports, it stands at around 40 confirmed fatalities, with more expected as search and recovery operations continue. Each loss represents a life disrupted or cut short by the storm's brutal force. In Georgia, 11 lives were lost primarily due to flooding and falling debris. Among the victims was a fire chief who was killed when a tree fell on his vehicle while he was responding to emergency calls. Such incidents have deeply shaken communities that pride themselves on their resilience and solidarity. Florida was also severely impacted, reporting 7 deaths attributed to the hurricane. One heart-wrenching story involved a man whose vehicle was struck by a falling sign during the storm. Another person died when a tree collapsed onto their house, illustrating the unpredictable nature of such disasters. As the winds howled and the rain poured, many found themselves in life-threatening situations with limited options for escape. Emergency responders worked around the clock, often risking their own safety to help others, showcasing the bravery and dedication of those in the line of duty. In addition to the immediate loss of life, the economic impact of Hurricane Helene cannot be understated. Estimates suggest that the damage caused by the storm could reach into the billions. Businesses in affected areas have been forced to close, leading to significant losses in revenue and employment. The tourism industry, a lifeline for many coastal communities, has been particularly hard hit, with hotels and attractions shuttered due to the devastation. As recovery efforts unfold, local economies face a long and challenging road ahead. As we consider the aftermath, it is clear that the devastation left by Hurricane Helene extends far beyond the immediate loss of life. In many communities, homes were completely destroyed, leaving families displaced and searching for shelter. In Atlanta, for example, the flooding caused major disruptions and transportation was severely affected. Roads were impassable and rescuers worked tirelessly to reach those stranded. The infrastructure damage has led to significant challenges for recovery efforts, with roads and bridges needing urgent repairs to facilitate aid and assistance. Community spirit has been tested, yet many residents are coming together to support one another. Shelters have been established to provide food and a safe place to sleep for those who lost their homes. Local organizations and volunteers have stepped up, delivering essential supplies and helping with cleanup efforts. This collective effort exemplifies the human capacity for kindness and solidarity in times of crisis. Stories of neighbors helping neighbors have emerged, showcasing the resilience and generosity that can flourish even in the darkest of times. The response from local and federal agencies has been swift. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, has deployed teams to assess the situation and provide assistance where it is most needed. They are working alongside local governments to ensure that those affected by the storm receive the support necessary for recovery. The long road ahead requires coordinated efforts to restore power, rebuild homes, and address the immediate needs of the affected population. As FEMA works to expedite aid, communities are reminded of the importance of preparation and resilience in the face of adversity. As we witness the destruction caused by Hurricane Helene, it serves as a sobering reminder of the power of nature and the importance of preparation. Climate change continues to influence weather patterns, leading to more frequent and intense storms. Communities need to develop comprehensive emergency plans and invest in resilient infrastructure that can withstand extreme weather. Education about potential risks and safety measures can help ensure that residents are prepared for future storms. The media coverage surrounding Hurricane Helene has also played a vital role in informing the public and promoting awareness. News outlets have reported on the storm's progression, providing live updates and safety tips to help individuals stay informed. Social media platforms have served as essential tools for sharing real-time information and connecting those in need with resources. The power of technology has allowed communities to band together, and the hashtag Hurricane Helene has become a rallying cry for those seeking support and information. While efforts to recover are now underway, it is essential to keep in mind the significance of providing assistance to individuals who have been impacted. A great number of people and families often find themselves in a state of urgent need of assistance. Volunteer activity can provide immediate aid to those who are in need, and financial contributions to local organizations can have a big impact on the recovery activities that are being undertaken. Each and every act of kindness, regardless of how insignificant it may seem, contributes to the overarching objective of reestablishing lives and communities. This serves as a reminder that we are not the only ones going through the challenges that we are going through, since charitable organizations, both local and national, are stepping up to provide food, clothing, and shelter. The devastation caused by Hurricane Helene has demonstrated to us that even in the face of hardship, there remains courage and hope inside communities. In the process of cleaning up waste and providing support to one another, neighbors are demonstrating a spirit of collaboration that is easy to observe. When we think about this terrible event, let us not forget to acknowledge the resiliency and determination of people who have been impacted by it. They are not merely statistics, rather, they are individuals whose lives have been turned upside down by a natural force. These individuals include moms, fathers, children, and friends. Efforts to recover will continue even after the winds caused by the storm decrease and the rain stops falling. Despite the fact that the path that lies ahead may be lengthy and difficult, communities will be able to rebuild if they remain dedicated and persistent. While we go forward, let us continue to be watchful and supportive of one another, and let us learn from this experience so that we can better prepare for storms in the future. It is impossible to deny the power that nature possesses, but the power of the human soul is also indisputable. When we work together, we have the ability to emerge from the ashes of destruction and be prepared to confront any difficulties that may come our way. If you find this information to be helpful, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to receive further updates on Hurricane Helene and other urgent matters. Remain safe, keep yourself informed, and let us continue to provide our support to those who have been impacted by this terrible occurrence. While we are shifting our focus to the future, it is critical that we do not forget that climate change is an urgent problem that requires our immediate action. Researchers have been warning for a long time that rising temperatures around the world will cause storms to become more powerful, which will result in an increase in the amount of flooding and destruction. The fact that this is the case ought to motivate us to advocate for policies that put an emphasis on resilience and sustainability. Only by concerted efforts can we have any hope of reducing the negative effects of climate change and safeguarding our communities from the occurrence of future catastrophes. To summarize, Hurricane Helene has left an indelible impression on the parts of the United States that are located in the southeast. This acts as a reminder of the precarious nature of life and the need of community on a daily basis. To ensure that no one is forced to go through these difficulties on their own, we may work together to rise to the occasion and rebuild in a more powerful manner than we were before. If you found this information helpful and want to stay updated on Hurricane Helene and other important topics, please like and subscribe to our channel.